Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim, and I just watched a movie on Prime Video called Stranger in the Woods. This is 2024 thriller. It's just listed as a thriller. And I typically will watch horror thrillers. I don't normally go for just a straightforward thriller, but because this movie was distributed by Red Hound Entertainment, which is the same group that distributed The Butchers, Book 2 Raghorn, that I thoroughly enjoyed, probably more than I should have because of all the gratuitous blood and violence. So I thought I would give this one a try, and I wasn't horribly disappointed, but it's not horror, so there's not as many of those like horror moments that I typically watch. This movie follows Olivia and her friends as they go on a vacation after Olivia nearly drowns with a slit wrist in her bathtub after her fiance's funeral. Her friends suspect that she tried to kill herself, but she believes someone attacked her. This was directed by Andy Newacek and written by Holly Kenney, who is the star of this movie, Olivia. Olivia Holly Kenney wrote this movie. And I think that's pretty fantastic. Yeah, and she plays the distraught, um, victim who's suffering from all sorts of things like grief and just guilt and all sorts of other, like, I'm losing my mind kind of things. We have a character named Sam, played by Brendan Brown, and he is the brother of Clayton, who's played by Teddy Spencer, and he's pretty cool. And then there are two friends, a couple, Teresa and Liam, played by Paris Nicole and Devon Stewart, respectively. And then there's another fifth wheel, so to speak, Brandon, played by Radek Antsklek. And he's got the hots for Olivia, but being that she just lost her fiance, kind of taking it slow and being respectful. Um, Olivia also brings her dog. I think his name is Miko or Milo. Um, and so, yeah, so the group gets together, do the whole travel montage, get to this cabin in the woods, and it's being run by Clayton. So this is Sam's brother who lives in a cabin next to the cabin that his family rents out, and he's kind of the caretaker of. So I hope you can follow that. So, anyways, Olivia's losing her mind basically, and she's really not convinced that she slit her own wrist. It was one wrist. They do show a flashbacky scenario in the beginning of the movie, and you kind of are left questioning it yourself. It's up in the air. And so the thriller aspect of this comes in that Clayton is very bizarre. He's very suspicious, very sus, does like have like some weirdness to him. And when Olivia's dog goes missing, and this is in the trailer, um, that's when things start going really kind of crazy for her. Her heightened sense of dread and guilt and just whatever really starts to take over. Of course, when there's a group out for a vacation, there's going to be a little drinking involved. At one point, she was a little tipsy. She was having a moment, and she kissed Sam. But Brandon is in love with Olivia. What the F? And that's what Brandon said. Like, Sam, what the F? How you kissing my girl? Sam's like, dude, that came out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on. And then Brandon, he gets the axe. That'll be as much the spoiler portion of this as I'll get. But, we start getting a very crazy amount of tension. Nobody knows Brandon's been killed, by the way. They just think that he got upset and left. So they're not even really like looking for him to the extent that they were looking for that damn dog. And um, yeah, so not to spoil it, because this is a good thriller. I did enjoy this movie. I'm not, like I said, mad that I watched it. It's got kind of mixed reviews. There's people, I did read some of the other reviews because I wasn't sure, how I felt doing a straightforward thriller. And there were people that are kind of pooping on this for, lack of story and everything else. Like, it's not an original idea. Like, there's very few movies nowadays where you can't, like, kind of 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon that movie and say, okay, that's a plot thread from this movie, or that's the same exact plot from that movie. And a lot of independent films are doing those types of things to the best that they can. Cinematically, this was shot very well. I think the dialogue and the writing was decent, and it was a good movie. It's definitely thrilling. There are a few attempts at some swerves that are going to be obvious to a lot of us who watched it. I wasn't shocked by any of the twists, but I read reviews where people were genuinely like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming," and so that's great. Like, if another person watched this movie and they did get sucked in by the story enough that they didn't see a certain thing was going to happen, then that's good. That's good writing. And that was Holly Kenney, and she also starred as Olivia. So, Prime Video, Apple, and Hoopla, and drastically different from The Butchers, Book Two. Not even close to the same type of movies, but I'm not mad that I watched it. So check it out if you'd like. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and have a great day.
Row 18, plot 20.